All right, I'm back with another video. And this video, look, man, a subscriber said, "Hey, what if Deku was the only guy or only boy with a quirk?" Now, the only way I can feasibly make that one work is if I gender bend every other person to the point where he's the only guy in the main storyline, right? And I couldn't really see it having any foundation because I'm not trying to do like a 100% fan fiction just yet. I want to do it where it's like a what if this happened? How would this play out and then, right? So how this will work is guys have quirks too, but since they don't have the estrogen gene, yeah, since they don't have the estrogen gene, they're not able to use their quirk. So this way, everyone else in canon can still have all their quirks. The only difference is they're all gonna be females. And how this story plays out is, you know, Bakuko. Bakuko, is that a female's name? Bakuko. She's still loud and extra, just like Bakugo was, and everything's gonna pretty much be the same. But the thing that's different is there's a different fight that Deku has to fight. They're like, you can't be a hero. You're a guy. Guys don't have quirks, and he's just like, so instead of like doing all this stuff, he trains from like a very young age. He goes to martial arts, and the thing is, this guy is kind of female dom heavy. Poor society, female dom heavy kind of society, and I don't necessarily mean that in a sexual way. Just the guys are the supporters, and the females are the providers. It's kind of backwards. Anywho, so this is happening and stuff, but Deku on the other, he said, fuck that. He finds out, he goes to places. His mom knows this is what he wanted to do since day one. So he goes to different places. He tries to find a teacher who finds a teacher off in the mountains. And this teacher, I don't want to say too much or like specify on the training on this one too much, but how I'm going to do this is around like 6, like when right before middle school started, or somewhere around the middle school era or whatever, or during the summer, he does a lot of training. And he's off in the mountaintops with like one of his senseis. He's teaching them sword, katana, sword, nunchucks, all the types of weapons, hand-to-hand combat. He's doing iron shirt, iron legs, and what those are for those people that don't know is basically it's a martial arts principle or practice that you basically hit yourself enough times in certain fashions, not just like, but in certain fashions to where you strengthen your bones beyond all measure. But they have people with quirks there, so he's able to get hit with these quirks, and then someone else is over there to heal him up so he can repair a lot faster. And he's just determined. Like, he's doing training, he's doing push-ups, he's doing sit-ups, he is doing it the most. And then he does discover he has a quirk, but he stays quirkless for a really long time because the quirk he has is a secret quirk. And it took me a minute, but I figured what it could be. Cancellation. The quirk is, well, if this was like the anime, cancellation. It allows you to cancel out any opponent's quirks. It doesn't matter if it's a physical type quirk. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a full, complete, utter cancellation. And you don't need the sight to see the person. It's like an aura that he emits off. It has an effect. It sometimes takes a minute to get to his opponent. But if he makes pure contact, your quirks cancel it out until he says otherwise, to an extent. Like, it's not just like instantly OP, but he's OP in the fact of if they both canceled out, then it would be up to hand. So now he's going to be OP due to the simple fact of he has hand-to-hand combat. You get what I mean? That's where he's gonna be OP in the slightest sense, if that makes any sense. So how I'm gonna do the story is he comes back after some time. Middle school is a thing, Uraraka's still gonna play a part in the story. He sees a villain. It's rampaging. All the guys are running. All the girls are running. Where are the heroes? Where are the heroes? And he walks And it's on that anime flow too, where he comes in, he's walking and everything, where he has like this robe around him, like that samurai that's been traveling land. He comes in and looks at it, and this is like a big giant villain, like, and he has an enhancement quirk of enlargement. He's like, "You better get out of my way, kid." And this is a female, an ugly female, because females are the only thing that have quirks. You better get out of my way, kid. You're a puny, weak man. All of y'all deserve to be squashed under our feet. You are an insect to me. I thought the world might change a little bit, ever since I left it, but no, it didn't. That's unfortunate. And he knows he can't pull out his sword and start cutting because he doesn't have a hero license. So what he does instead was he mumbles. She's like, "What are you mumbling?" Cancellation. And then the creature, the female, starts shrinking back into like a blonde, middle-aged S form. Still looks decently okay. And then he jumps like with this dummy speed. He digs his foot into the ground and he pushes and then knocks her out, ties her up, and then takes her to the police station. Or at least some heroes appear. Like all the heroes in canon are still a thing. They're just the opposite sex. So like this may become a harem. What if? Not intentionally, but this was the only way I could see it, to where it's like I have some basis. You know what I'm saying? So how we're doing that now is he does that, and then he goes to school as per usual, and then everyone's surprised, like, "UA? Deku? UA?" Everyone's bugging out. Everyone's laughing. "You need a quirk, right?" I'm strong enough. And so this Bakugo Bakugo is a little different. To the fact is she's not necessarily mean to Deku, but she's just like really straightforward and really aggressive, right? She's like, "You can't." So after class or whatever, she's like, "You can't do that. Like, you'll get killed or like crushed. Like, why? Why would you do this to yourself?" Like, but also he does have really baggy clothes, so nobody knows what he has underneath. He's like, "Why would you do that to yourself?" Like, Kanchan, listen, I'm okay. I'm not the same boy that I used to be back in middle school. Well, not middle school, but back in kindergarten. Like, calm down. I'm good. I got it. All right, meet me at my house later on tonight. And no, they're not fucking. Meet me at my house later on tonight, and we'll test that theory. At your funeral, she feels sorry for him. Then she talks to her mom and dad. She's like, "Hey, if he really wants to do it, let him do it. But I just don't want him to get hurt." And yes, there is some romance in the air. There is some feelings. Am I gonna go that direction? I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to force Deku X Bakugo on anything. But I'm just playing the story out how I would see it kind of play out. Because if the gender bends typically be the opposite the way the character is, for example, Luffy, he loves meat, but if he was a female, would he love vegetables? No one make a sex joke in the comment, for the love of God. Anywho, so they meet up, and this is where I'm about to end it too. They meet up or whatever, and this is where he's like, "All right, I'm not gonna hold back." He said, "Go ahead." And he doesn't use his calculation quirk because he's been watching her since day one. Like, when he visualized victory or like victory or awesomeness, he sees her at the pinnacle. Plus, Eraserhead and oh my, that's a female now, but that's a different story. And so how this plays out is she goes in. The parents are watching, but they're like, "Okay, don't be too reckless out there now." And so she goes in for an explosive attack. He's just like slow. And then like he moves, but it almost looks like time slowed down. Hits her a good 3 times. It's kind of like on that Jiren flow. So she's like beep, 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 beep. She's like, "Oh, okay." Okay, maybe you just got a little faster. Okay. So she gets ready, takes a better stance, and then propels herself with her own explosions. Spins up, does like a Kamehameha like S, like Kamehameha S like explosion, kind of where she's cuffing her hands up, building up all the sweat on her body, and just releasing it in a mighty blow. And then he stands there, laughs, boom. Okay, that should stop you from doing something really stupid. He like steps and he's like towering over her, just like, listen, pats her on the head, listen. How many times do you think you would have died just now? What he has his like finger just right on her chest, no pun intended. And like he's implying that if I wanted to, I could easily just thrust one good time and you would be dead. And like he's saying this with bass in his voice and high amounts of intimidation. And she's like, you don't have a quirk. Well, you're half right. I don't have a super uber strong quirk. And now I'm not gonna say he's the only person with the quirk. I'm just gonna say he's one of the few select people with a quirk. I might actually change the gender and keep all my regular potentially. You gotta see how this plays out. Because I think I might have just came up with a better idea mid-video. But that's where I'm gonna end it if Deku was a I'm gonna just say Deku the only person that has a quirk, or the only boy that has a quirk. So this way it has a little decent title. Hope y'all enjoy. Welcome to the family. People that do and will subscribe and like, dislike. Tell me what you know what to do.